Hello everyone, uh, respected seniors, fellow colleagues of AJIMS Institute of Medical Sciences and Research Center. I'm doing a very quick video, a small video on the guidelines that we need to follow for all our online classes. We have some revised guidelines just to get in tune with most of these guidelines. I'll just try and demonstrate a few of those which we probably most of us are aware of, but for a few of those colleagues who are not able to get in tune with that new guidelines, I'll broadly divide that into four sections. The first one will of course be setting up a Google Meet session, which is the one that we'll be using for all our live classes as per the given timetable. The second one will be on how to record these live sessions. We have been taking these live sessions most of the time on Google Meet, but very few of us are recording these sessions and uploading these sessions on Google Classroom. I'll just briefly touch on that. The third section will be largely on attendance. There are a lot of confusions regarding how do we mark the students present who have attended the Google Meet sessions, a small demonstration of that. And finally on how do we interact with students very often. And the best way to do that would be through Google Classroom, which has already been created, and submitting a few assignments and tests in Google Classroom. Now, I assume that the majority of the departments are already using these techniques effectively and have had no problems, but for a few of those who are still not in terms with how exactly we need to do this, first of all, to come to a Google Meet session, the problem that majority of us are facing presently is the numbers. Google Meet has a restriction of 100 participants in the EDU account. That's the education account that we are presently having, which we are not using the premium one, we are using the free edition. And this restriction in numbers, for majority of the terms we have more than 100, and to accommodate that part we are creating 2 or more sessions at a particular time and creating a Google Meet session. Now, how do we do it? The staff clerks of each of the departments have been trained already regarding how we conduct 2 simultaneous sessions and accommodate more than 100 in a given Google Meet classroom. To do that, you can just click on these 9 dots, go to Google Calendar and create a classroom session. Now this can be created for the entire week, entire month, whosever class it may be. The department clerks can do this, or if you are not comfortable with this, doing it on your own. Just to demonstrate, you just click on create. Once you click create, click on more options and then go to a title. We'll extend this as a trial Meet session. May 3rd, I'll just click it for right now. Just click on add Google Meet video conferencing. The moment you do that, you get this join with a Meet link, Google Meet. Now what you need to do is, since we have more than 100 in our class, you have to create 2 classrooms. So this will be class 1. We can create one for class 2. Now keep the email IDs. These email IDs have been given to the entire all the departments, according to the roll numbers, they have a edu account now. Please drag about 75 students in the first classroom, which means you can have, say for example, if it is 150, I'm taking into consideration the first years here. If you have 150, take 150, copy it and just paste it. Now the moment you paste it, the entire list of students appears here. Now this is what appears here. The entire list of students will be visible in this Google Meet session. Now the moment you save this session, it will send info or an email to all the participants attending this session. So everyone in this session will get an info about the Google Meet class that will be happening in this time period. So if your time period, say for example, is 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, you can set it up the previous day, you can set it up the previous week, whatever you wish to do at that time. Now the moment you save it, you get a Google Meet option here. Now since I will not be able to send it to all of them now because they will get a Meet session link, I'll just modify it. You then have to save this. I will go to another tab where I open another calendar event. So you go to create, you go to more options. At 9:15, add Google Meet video conferencing. It creates a session. I'll probably add myself here. This is trial session class 2. What you can do in class 2 is select the next 75. You select the next 75 in the email IDs that are given, copy them and paste them in the calendar. That will create another session for class 2. This is class 2. It will tell you send a notification to all the participants. It will send an email notification. A trial session is created for class 2. Here I'll just create trial 1 as well because I'd just trial session class 1 9:15. Both can be at the same time. You are adding participants for the first 75 in class 1, the second 75 in class 2, and you send it. So when you're creating this calendar event, make sure that you are sending it through your email ID, which is every department has got a UG email ID. Biochemistry UG, for example, is our email ID. The same is true for all the 20 departments. Now once you have set this trial session calendar event, you can just close that, go to a new tab, go to Google Meet, meet.google.com. The moment you go to meet.google.com, again please remember on the right hand side, click your particular edu account only. The moment you go to your edu account, what you see is at 9:15 p.m. there are two classes that are set here, class 1 and class 2. Click on class 2. I'm just giving you an example. click on class 2, it will ask for the camera to be set and the audio to be set. Join the class. You've joined class 2 now. Fine. Now go back to Google Meet. Again, go back to that email ID which you are set up. You have not joined class 1. Now go to class 1, join class 1. You can of course do that with any of the sessions. I mean, you can join class 1 first or class 2 first, doesn't matter. You are now the admin of both these sessions. So you are creating two tabs here, class 1 and class 2, and both the classes are logged in. What you need to do when you are starting your class, unmute both these classes, unmute 1, unmute 2, go to class 1, present class 1, your entire screen, present class 1, you are sharing this with the class. Now you're beginning your sharing or presenting with class 1 here. Now that's fine. Now what about class 2? You have not presented yet. You are just in the classroom. You need to present it. You're unmuted. You need to present this as well. Go to your entire screen. Present this screen as well. You're going to share the entire window, and now you're presenting to class 2. So here now you have class 1 and class 2 that are being presented to your students. Once you've started with the presentation, class 1 and class 2, one important thing what you need to remember is click on these three dots on the right hand side, press the click button and record the meeting. Please do not forget to record the meeting. Every classes that are taken on Google Meet, please record this. This is a huge database that we are creating for ourselves. This recorded sessions will be uploaded on Classroom, and every recorded session gets itself stored in the Google Drive of our EDU account, and therefore this library of classes that will be created will be of great help for the students even after the pandemic and even after these online classes have stopped. So therefore please record these classes. Every recorded class is considered as a class taken. If the class is not recorded, it's almost as a class is not taken. So please record. Now when you're recording, please remember you can record either one of the Meet sessions or you can record both the Meet sessions. Choice is yours. It doesn't really matter, because one Meet session recorded also will mean that the entire presentation will be recorded. The first 75 will be here on class 1, the second 75 will be on class 2, and therefore you have up to 200 students that can be watching you at this time. Once these two things are set, what you only need to do is go to your PowerPoint presentations and start your presentations. The rest of the story will be visible. This PowerPoint presentation will be visible to your entire class, that is to class 1 and to class 2. Make sure both are unmuted and both are presenting now. So once that is done and once the recording has started, please consider your classes to be on. Now at the end of the class, what you need to do is not to forget to stop recording. Please click on stop recording. This once stopped, you next have to stop presenting. You need to stop presenting in both the Meet sessions. Once your class is done, stop presenting in both the Meet sessions. Now this will stop both Meet sessions, and that recorded material will go and store itself in the Google Drive of the main account that you had created, the admin account, that is the department email ID that has created this Google Meet session in the calendar. So this will be easily available for us for further use. You can then end the call in both the sessions. Now that's ending call 1. This is ending the second meet sessions. If there are more than 200 students, we can have a third meet session also. This can either be created by the department clerks, or if you are familiar with these nitty-gritties, you can do it yourself. It's not a great it's an easy job to be doing as well. Now once that session is over, if you go back to the Google email that we have, the edu account, it will take about 10 to 15 minutes for that recorded part to come and store itself with the email. For example, it stores itself for like an email like this. It's a class taken earlier today where the recorded session is right here with the chat transcripts that will be recorded as well. The chat transcripts though will be of only the recorded meet. If you record both, you will get both, otherwise it will be of only one of those class. When we come to attendance, I'll talk a little more about that chat session as well. So this is how it stores itself. If you want to watch that video, just again click on these 9 dots, go to drive, and the drive will have the entire list, the folders itself of meet recordings, of classrooms, etc. So this is the video that was taken earlier today. Just click on that video and right click it. Once you right click it, you get a link. Now just when you click on get link, always remember this will have restricted view. Now if you post this restricted view link to the students, they will not be able to view this link. So just click on that arrow. You will get either restricted, AJ Institute of Medical Science and Research Center, or anyone with the link. So ideally click on anyone with the link. This will give you a new link. Just copy the link here. Copy the link. Link is copied and done. So link is copied now. What do you need to do with this link? Go back to Google Classroom. Here in the stream, you just need to announce it for the students. So how do you do that? Announcing in the stream, you have something called add here. The moment you click on link, if you click on add, you get link. You've already copied it, just right click and paste it. When you add the link, here you have it. The recorded class is right here. Just announce that it is the class that you need to be posting it, recording, and there you go. And post it up to the students. A post like this is already being posted earlier today. So a post like this is already created earlier today. This is the class that has been posted earlier today. Now, so therefore I will just cancel this post. So this is how you can post these recorded sessions in the Google Classroom, which will give you an ample understanding that the students, even if they have missed out on the class, or there was network issues or any other problem, or they want to revise themselves back again, understanding a little more of what was told in the class, they can go back to that recording and view that entire video again, along with the PowerPoints that we are presenting, which makes it easier for them to view it. Now along with that, what we are also recommending is that students should be given a classwork. Now if the classwork or assignment is given in the stream, the students will not be able to answer or reply back to that particular assignment. So ideally a Google form or assignment should be put up in Classwork. This is the Google Classroom, of course, I'm explaining of. So in this Classwork, so it gives you the list of things that have been posted already. Now this is the kind of classrooms assignments that we post every day after the class. What happens is, with these classroom assignments, we get to know very easily how the students can respond back. Now the assignment posted earlier today has been responded by 104 of the 150 students. 46 are yet to respond to this. Who are the 46 who have not responded? That list is also available here. who are the 104 who have responded and what have they written for the assignment. Ideally they should write that in a paper and click a photograph of it and get back to it. So this becomes a continued assessment that we are doing of what class we have taken and how they have responded to the class, or even responding to any tests, small tests or anything can all be put up here in the classwork. And creating an assignment is an easy job as well. Just name of that class, just write acid bases or something that was taken, and then write your questions here. Just type your questions. You can just type in your questions and give a timeline when you need to finish the topic, when is the due date. If it is later today, just put it up later today. You can write the time and so on. This is something that all of you are familiar with, and just at the end of it just assign. Now if the assignments are not posted, I am repeating myself again, in the classwork, if the assignments are not posted, it becomes difficult for the students to respond to that particular assignment. If the assignments are posted on Stream, for example, they have to all send their answers through Stream, and it will become difficult for us to understand who has answered and who has not answered. So this becomes a difficult process. So we have completed with how to take a Google Meet session if you're taking multiple sessions, how do you record it, and then how to paste that recorded session on Google Classroom, and then giving an assignment on Classwork. Now one final tip regarding attendance. Now attendance is something that is very complicated when we are taking Google Meet, because we are not using the premium version and we don't have an entire attendance module that is available, but there are many cracks around it. One, like I told you, a simple method of doing it is by recording both your sessions. When you record both the sessions, if the students are answering or typing on the chat box, you get a session that will be available like this. On, if you can see this, there is a Word document which has all the chat transcripts in them, and that will give you an idea as to how many of them attended. So at the beginning of the class, you can tell them put in your name and roll number in the chat box. Then maybe sometime in between the class, you can tell put your name and roll numbers. As you're taking the class, you can tell put your name and roll numbers, or maybe at the end of the class you can then again put up something like this which says put in your name and roll numbers. Okay, so what additionally you can do is to create one extension. There's a Chrome extension. Google Chrome has got many extensions. When you put in Google Chrome, just search for extensions, Google Chrome extensions, and there's a web store, Chrome web store, where you can search for Meet Transcript. This is written in today's circular. I'll just show you how to add this extension to your Google Chrome, and to use this you will have to use Google Chrome only. Now how do you, just click on this Meet Transcript, it's got a feather like thing here, add it to Chrome. The moment you add it to Chrome, an extension will be created which gives you an access. Now please grant access to Google Drive. Now once you give access to Google Drive, please remember again, when you're accessing giving access to Google Drive, give it to your email ID of the department, Biochemistry UG in our case, where I allow Google Drive to give an extension. When you turn this, you can just click on this. This will add captions on, which you don't need much, because these captions are not necessarily required in any of our Meet sessions, but for a student maybe it is of some use. So you added this extension. Now go back to Google Meet. I'll just show you what happens in Google Meet now. I'll just show you one of those Meet sessions. Google Meet, meet.google.com. Again, go to your particular email ID. The moment you go to your email ID, you'll have, again, I go back to that trial session that I had created some time back. Now I'm now joining again on this session. Now you see there are two new slots here, ready and a screenshot. Now the screenshots may not be of much use for us, but if you click on this, you will get this concept of transcript ready. Now what this transcript does is, anybody who's chatting, now you need to keep this chat session open to be turn on your captions. This will create the chat sessions on. Now the moment you put a chat session like this, I put a hi here, there will be an entry of this Google chat in our drive. Again, when you go back to the drive, you will find a transcript which has got, just click on that chat, you get a transcript like this ready. Now what this will do is, the only thing that you need to remember is, when you are presenting now and you keep this page on, which allows chat to be open. So every student who puts in their chat messages here will have the entire system ready. I'll just show you an example of a chat session that was created this morning. Here's a same transcript that we used. Now this transcript also is interesting because if this transcript is on, what happens is the students will also be able to read or get the notes of all what we're talking. This is also interesting for the students, but not necessarily for us, but an interesting tool where students get the entire transcript of what was told in the class. Now this is not required for us. What is required is this chat session. Now you see the chat session for a class taken at 10 o'clock this morning. You had a number of students logging in at 10:03. You have the list of all the students logging in. At you see the time they've logged in. At 10:30 there was another attendance call. You don't need to go back to from your slides. You just continue your session on slides. As you're talking on your slides, tell them, put a name and roll number in the chat box at 10:30. Say for example, you can do that at any time you want. And at the end of the class, again, as they're leaving, maybe at 10:50 or so, again ask them to put the name and roll numbers. Now this is just a method in which it can be done. There is Meet attendance, for example, another extension that can be used on Google Chrome. All these are good methods, but I think the best way to go ahead is have a uniformity. You can either do this with the Meet transcript, you can do that with Meet attendance, or you can do it with simply recording both the sessions of Meet, which means you will get your copy of the chat sessions. Now for anything, you will have to tell the students to put in their names and roll numbers in the chat box, without which you will not be able to do any of this. So please remember, for attendance we consider Meet attendance. Now somebody who is not able to log into the class because of network issues, if the consideration is genuine, can the HODs consider, maybe I leave that discretion to the particular HODs, where they can see the response of the student by giving some classwork in Google Classroom and seeing whether that particular student has done the classwork reasonably well, and if their case was genuine. So these are things that you can do. So I again summarize, all sessions will be on Meet. If we have more than 100 students, 2 Meet sessions will be created in a calendar, can be created the previous day, previous week, or whenever we want. On that particular day, The emails will reach the particular students. They will log in through their link that they have received. We do nothing. Go to Google Meet and just log into the sessions from our windows that will be available on that particular day, like these 2 sessions. Once you go into those sessions, you're going to have present now on both. You need to unmute both, and also you need to keep this chat box open because your chat transcripts are now being recorded. Apart from that, what you need to do is to record the meeting. Once you have recorded the meeting, your entire session, both the sessions, since present now is the entire window, you're getting both this live on air. So therefore, you're getting your recorded part, which goes and stores itself in the drive. Once you are on the drive, get the link option. Once you get this link, you are going to click for anyone with the link, copy the link and paste it in your Google Classroom. The Google Classroom, apart from pasting, every staff should necessarily give one assignment or classwork for that and check if the students are doing it in that order for that particular class. The Meet sessions can have a Meet transcript ready, which will give you the chat attendance, and therefore this can be the attendance concept for your online. So this will somehow give you uniformity to all departments, whether you're taking theory classes, clinical sessions or practical sessions, small group discussions or any such thing. All can be done in the same common methodology. Thank you very much. I am open to any questions. You can contact me on my phone number anytime if you need any doubt, if you have got any doubts or any clarifications to make. I'm not an expert on this, but whatever little I know, I'll try and help you. Thank you very much.